Hello and welcome to HawkTalk, everyone, the show where we take the questions that you send us and we discuss them and talk about them and come up with a great conversation.
Great.
Like this incredibly articulate intro I'm doing right now.
Yes.
If you guys like the show, make sure to check out the new format. We are dropping pieces of the episodes starting Tuesday through Thursday with a full episode dropping on Friday. And movie reviews and stuff like that are a separate thing. So we'll have a playlist for that on the YouTube channel, so check that out. All right, let's grab that helmet.
Melissa, you grab it. I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking. But do you want to do the first question?
Sure.
It's next to you.
It's next to you.
It is now.
Yeah, it is now. Isn't it? Isn't it, pal?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
All right.
Okay.
We good?
Yeah, we squashed our
Okay,
beef.
this one's a long one.
Who's it from?
It says anonymous, so
Ooh.
thanks, person.
Mysterious.
If given the opportunity to be part of any movie in the history of film, time travel not remake, what movie, cast, and crew would you want to be a part of?
So it's asking if we want to just be in a... Did that say TV show as well?
No, I think it's the movie.
Movie in the history of film. So literally we can just insert ourselves into any movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
any project, you get to be a part of it.
Oh, dang, son.
Cool
Dang.
question.
Oh, man. That's...
Interesting.
Wow. I need to think a moment. But I know what my gut says, but let me think about what my butt says. Sorry. Let me think about this.
Oh. Melissa, do you have anything off the top of your head that any movies you would want to be inserted into as a producer? You would want to produce?
Produce. Ooh. I mean,
Star Wars. I'd pick Star Wars.
That's a gut feeling, isn't it?
That is the gut feeling.
My
I was
gut-
really trying to think of something else, but it's Star Wars.
Who would you play in it? So as an actor, specifically?
Yes, I would want to be an actor in Star Wars, and I would be Luke Skywalker. Yeah, dude. And I'd make
Dang.
Luke dope. I'd be like,
Dang.
Ezara.
Do you think you would have the same career path as Mark Hamill?
Nah, I'd have the same career path as Meryl Streep.
Oh, that's
a big
quite-
confidence.
Yeah, very confident, very ambitious.
Yeah, dude.
put out in the
Shoot
world.
for the stars,
Good.
you'll reach the moon.
Well, my gut instinct, kind of like his, was actually Harry Potter.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because I was like, oh, I could do it. It was done so well, but I know that I have like a different vision of it in my head too, and I would love to bring out the moments that weren't necessarily touched on in the movies that were presented.
Nice.
Like there was some themes and stuff, or characters, or just arcs that you don't really get to see
Dope.
in the first iteration, because I feel like even though each movie got progressively darker, it still felt light. I don't know, maybe to me. So I think there's some themes that I would like to explore and see more in the world building.
Dope.
Gosh, I have no idea what I would want to be inserted into because all the movies that I do like or had an impact on me, you know, I like them the way they are.
Yeah.
So, gosh,
Titanic.
no.
Avatar.
Last Airbender?
No, Avatar, James Cameron.
No.
I'm just picking James Cameron movies.
I would not want to be an Avatar in James Cameron's Avatar. I mean, I would be in James Cameron's
Right,
Avatar,
no,
but
of
if
course.
I could go back in time and be in any movie,
film. Why would I pick-
definitely wouldn't pick James Cameron's Avatar. And I want, like, a part of me is just like, oh, The Dark Knight. But then I'm like, who the hell am I going to play in The Dark Knight?
Anyone you want to, man.
I appreciate that, but I don't see anybody in those movies that I fit specifically. Like, I might be able to play John Blake in Dark Knight Rises, but, like, that's not the Batman movie I want to be in.
Fair enough.
Out of the three in the trilogy.
You'd probably pick Suicide Squad, huh?
Yeah, totally. I was actually thinking when this question was first brought up, the first thing that came into my mind was like Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
Nice. Actually, would you want to be an actor, or would you want to direct, or would you want to produce? Or would you want to like...
Man. So I consider that question as like being a part of the production, not being the creative lead of a production.
Right.
So I don't think I would choose in this circumstance, if you will.
Yeah, that was coming.
I wouldn't choose to direct. I would choose to act.
Gotcha.
And I think I love the Back to the Future
Yeah,
movies,
dude.
man.
That'd
I would
be
love
so
to be Marty
sick.
McFly. I think I
That'd be
could.
so sick.
Yeah. So
You'd make a great Marty, dude.
thanks, man. Do you guys have a second option, an honorable mention, if you
I
will?
mean, honestly, now that you're talking about Back to the Future, you're making me reevaluate my entire life. Jeremy, what about you, dude? Do you have any?
I'd want to try shooting the Hunger Games.
Huh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because the first movie I didn't like that much, and honestly, like I don't think too many fans of the original book liked the first one.
Okay.
But the other two movies were like really good, I thought. Just not the way that I pictured it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd actually want to be a cinematographer on those movies.
Nice.
What's up?
And see what kind of look it can have, what I can do with that.
All right.
Nice.
If I had to pick another one.
Another one.
I would pick.
Now, question for you: Are we going back in time as adults, as we are now, or could I go back in time as a child and be in the Goonies?
You could do that.
Because I mean, if I could become a kid again to be a part of the Goonies, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be
I
pretty
love
tight.
the Goonies.
That'd be pretty tight.
I don't think that's what they're asking, but definitely interesting
I was saying,
perspective.
Hey,
Like
man.
going back as a child. Or
Why
like,
limit ourselves?
No, exactly. Don't limit yourself. I was just.
to be a part of any movie. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because again, like as an actor, I would have to like, okay, what demographics do I fit now? So like, just because I love this movie, I don't fit the age range of that character at this time. You know?
I would pick. Oh man, I thought I had it, but I'm still.
Ooh, I had one based off of something you said a little bit. Avatar,
Yeah,
the bad one.
The Last Airbender.
Yup. That live action
As a producer?
one. As a producer. Oh my God. Just please let me fix it.
Nice.
And you would literally,
Everything.
Fix everything.
literally just every time M. Night wants to, he says, yeah, let's do this. And you're just like, nope. Let's call the main character Ong instead of Aang. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, I'd
nope.
definitely go back in time and direct that. Let's do
let's
it.
do- yeah.
Teamwork.
There's a
project.
movie in the 80s called Monster Squad. I would want to go back and be a part of that movie. I freaking love that movie. I'm not a big fan of vampires, but I like that movie because it's. Have you guys seen that movie?
I've never even heard of this.
Never
movie.
even heard of the Monster Squad? Brah! My boy Preston knows what's up. So it's this movie about so you would like it. So the realm of Monsterville, where Dracula and Frankenstein,
Of course.
where they reside.
Naturally.
Somehow that realm comes into our realm in normal life, in normal world. And these kids that are like huge fans of like Fangoria and like comic books and all these monster movies, like huge diehard fans. Like they have a treehouse and have meetings about it on the weekly. They're the only ones that know how to kill these monsters because of how much they love them. So like, it's
I know
up
what
to
movie
them
you're
to
talking
save the
about.
day. Yeah, dude, it's super dope. And Frankenstein is like a sweetheart. And him and this like little girl have like this really cute friendship. I would be in that movie for sure. It's fun times.
All right.
Back to the Future, you say?
Back to the Future. Yep, I would be
That's,
Marty.
I mean, yeah, that's a solid choice, dude. That is a great movie.
I know I look and sound like a Marty McFly, an
Irish bug?
very Irish, specifically Irish name, but
Hey, dude, it's
I'd
fine.
still do it.
If you could answer this question as like more from an observer standpoint, like can I go back and view something being produced via time travel?
I would actually go. I don't like this movie at all, but I would be really interested in the making of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'd be really curious to see how that set was.
You'd probably be very uncomfortable.
Probably, but like I'm still curious.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot of movies where I would like to just go and
Watch.
if I'm just gonna be a fly on the wall,
And like learn.
man, I would probably have to say one of the more modern Marvel films.
Yeah,
I would rather have been on one of those sets to see how that process went.
I feel that. That makes
I mean,
sense.
I would also be very interested to be on the set of like Suicide Squad to see
Yeah.
what that was like.
Yeah, because like that's the only way you would know how that movie was.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, actually, I would pick that because I'm really curious to see how that movie was filmed.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh,
if I could
bro.
be a fly on the wall for any set, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. That.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just going.
Damn.
Oh my God, the Millennium Falcon. Oh my God, X-wing fighters. Oh my God, the robot with ball robot.
Paul Robot.
How far would you go back? Now you can time travel. You don't have to stay within the realm. Like we've gone back to the 80s. Would you go back like if you're fly on the wall, maybe like Wizard of Oz, like or like even further back?
No.
No.
I choose the more modern stuff because that's what I'm more interested in. Like the older stuff, and also I can learn more. I can learn more modern day techniques by being on the set of a modern film. Like
True.
the type of equipment that is being used on older films and the techniques are there's like that the limitation of lack of the technological advances that we have now. I know a lot of people still film the old school way, but if I was going to be on an old set like that, it probably would have been like Seven Samurai or something like that, where like you see the first guy craft the first version.
Bruce Lee film.
Oh,
Yes.
I would love to see how he moves in real life. That would be pretty crazy.
All right, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good one to end on, man. Bruce.
All right, well, cool.
Cool.
I guess that's the first topic.
All right. Let's go to the
Jump
next.
to the next one.
I will always on the bench.
We are pulling, if you're listening to the audio version, we're using the Hawkeye helmet right now from Hawkeye versus Green Arrow.
Hot guy.
Hot Guy, which I made myself, by the way. I did this with my own 2 Dans.
Yep, I was there. I saw some of it.
Yeah.
Parts of it.
Did nothing to help.
All right.
Okay.
You got to deal with Disney.
What?
To make your own Star Wars character. What would it be? This comes from Fandemic on Discord. Anhola Laulubushi. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for butchering your name. Your name is familiar. I see it all the time. Pronouncing it is a little hard.
Fandemic, though. Okay.
Fandemic.
So if we have a deal with Disney, y'all, we're going to create our own Disney character. Jeremy, what character would you create?
Star Wars.
I'm sorry, Star Wars. Yeah, own Star Wars character.
So creating our own Star Wars character, I'd probably create a droid.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, just because I like technology and I would love to develop like the technology used to make that droid.
That's what's up. Would it be a droid like a smaller unit or like a more humanoid?
Both,
type?
actually.
Okay.
2 droid characters.
Ooh.
Droid.
Like Jay and Silent Bob of the Star Wars universe.
You can't just make 1 droid, man. You gotta make 2.
What kind of personalities would you have these droids have?
Dope ones.
Cool, man.
Very specific.
Contrasting to each other.
Okay.
Like they're 2 very different personalities. Whichever
Riggs and
one.
Murtaugh.
Yeah.
Like dudes from Rogue One?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Just whatever personality one takes on, the other one is the complete opposite.
Are they on the good side or the bad side?
Good side.
Cool. Cool.
Charming. Charming is the key word.
So R2D2 and C3PO?
Yeah, I'd say. Just more involvement.
Okay.
Not like... Well, I guess they are pretty involved, but like as in a major character. Not a
Right, not
supporting
just a
character
observer.
where... Yeah, not a supporting character that happens to be on the sidelines of these things happening, you know?
You'd want them to be integral to the story and the plot.
Yes.
I feel that. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I would want to make a badass Sith or dark side character. Someone who is specifically an antagonist, working on the dark side, and like Kylo Ren, Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, like inspired, but totally their own character. And I don't know. I don't know what the character's name would be because this is the first time I've seen this question. But like different type of lightsaber. Like I like how Darth Maul had the double-sided. I would want my character to be like Darth Maul, where he's like so badass that everybody loves him, but like he actually says things and does things that are
be
really
tight.
cool as well. Like
Also tight.
that's what I want to do. And badass, like I don't know, maybe you'll have like a scythe. like a
Scythe
like
saber?
a sight saber.
Whoa,
He's
bro.
got this like crazy.
I could totally see that in my head too. Just a character with that huge scythe.
Yeah, just
That's pretty
swinging it
tight.
around.
What color? Red, obviously.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if Kylo Ren can have a broadsword with a
crossguard.
I can't imagine why someone can't have a scythe.
Yeah, dude.
There clearly are no rules anymore.
No, man.
What other weapons could you make out of lightsabers?
Man, I wish we had Jan here because he's like the Star Wars.
Like katanas, long arms.
Long arms.
What does that mean? A whip.
Whip. Ooh.
is that canon? Canon.
Ooh.
A
Interesting.
lightsaber whip. That could be interesting. Thank you, Preston, off camera.
Or
OS.
even just like even more like smaller versions for like throwing.
Like a blade.
Yeah.
You have tiny little lightsaber throwing knives. That seems like a waste. Like that's a waste of a lot of kyber crystals.
But it looks so cool.
I would make I would also make a Sith. I would make it a female and I would make her go to the good side. But it would be like like extremely reluctant. It wouldn't like it's not necessarily what she wants to do, but she sees it for the greater good. Like she doesn't necessarily agree with the Jedi. She just disagrees with a lot of the Sith. So she just kind of does her own path. But that's what I would do. And I would have her have like a long arm lightsaber, some kind of like bow staff-esque kind of thing.
Nice.
That's what I would do.
Like a double tip with a long base or
Long base with one tip.
one tip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
What about shoot?
I'm not nearly as knowledgeable in Star Wars lore as you guys.
That's the beauty. Just make it up.
Made up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it up.
Make up a
So I
dope
think
character.
so far in things that I've watched Star Wars, which is only about half of everything, and more of the recent films. Every character seems to be from like the middle of nowhere. Like, are there any main characters that are just from like cities and just like follow more of a traditional path? Not like I don't know anything that's going on.
Technically Leia.
Huh, wow, that does kind of happen 3 times, doesn't it? That's
Yeah.
Luke, Anakin, and Rey, all kind of
they're
from...
country bumpkins.
Yeah.
Like
Huh.
Leia's a princess, so she definitely comes from royalty in a city.
yeah. But where's the middle ground there?
Right.
Like
Han Solo is... So his backstory, which is no longer canon, and they might be doing this in the movie, but he was like an Imperial officer, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, he was an Imperial officer, didn't play by the rules, and I'm trying to think of what it is. So there are people in the
Something
comments
about
who are like,
Wookiees, and
Yeah.
like he got on the side of Chewie. Like he did something either good for the Wookiees or specifically good for Chewie. And yeah,
so they
became
started their
homies.
bromance.
yeah.
Okay. I got
So
you.
that's his origin story, but I would Google that because that was a very
It was a very
short
streamlined-
and fragmented version.
Yep.
But yeah. So there are characters who've come from all walks.
Okay.
My Sith character would have a cool mask, by the way. She would take it off, but she would have a cool mask.
I want to create a female gunslinger type character
Ooh.
who isn't exclusively just wielding guns, but she can wield a maybe lightsaber whip. That would be cool. Lightsaber lasso, like in the style of Kingsman 2. Like
Nice.
the Golden Circle.
Ooh.
With Agent Tequila? No, Agent... Yeah,
Tequila!
Agent Tequila, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That whip that he has, but lightsaber form.
No,
Tight.
whiskey has the.
That's
whiskey
right.
has the.
Yes. Agent Whiskey. Dude, that's gonna be dope. But mainly, like, she'll only pull out the lasso or whip occasionally.
Fair enough.
I would love to hear the story as to how a gunslinger got her hands on a lightsaber whip.
Yeah, that
Maybe
would
she's
be
a
an
secret
epic story.
Jedi.
A secret
Jedi.
Jedi.
Maybe she took down a Jedi.
That's who we are. Took
Trained
down a
in their
Jedi.
arts.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I don't know. That was just a pitch.
But you don't have to be trained to use a lightsaber.
Nah, man.
You can. I mean, Finn proved that. You can just pick it up and just use it.
Yeah.
So
Just
if you saw a dead Jedi laying on the ground, and they had a lightsaber whip. You could
Grievous
just.
is certainly not a Jedi.
Oh, that's right, Grievous. I forgot about that goofball.
He's barely even human. I mean, he's not a human.
Yeah.
He was at one point, I'm sure, but not anymore.
Yeah.
So anyone could use a lightsaber weapon. So
Yeah.
as long as your weapon's proficient, then
Anybody
like,
can pick up and turn on a lightsaber. Proper use, I imagine, is
Can you
like,
use a sword?
Can you pick
Not
up a
well.
katana?
Right.
Yeah, of course. So there's levels that you
Yeah.
have
Right.
to go to, but like if you have the basics and the like strategy, you don't have to be a Jedi to use a lightsaber.
Yeah.
No, a Jedi isn't a lightsaber wielder. A Jedi is a Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like it's just
Like
so
guns aren't
closely
exclusive to
associated.
cops.
True.
Lightsabers aren't exclusive to Jedi. So
They're just rare, right?
Yeah, I feel like only. I mean, I don't know. I'm getting in the weeds of how lightsabers work, and I know
Yeah.
I don't know the answers.
Tony would know the answer.
Tony would know the answers. Jan would know the answers. But yeah, if you could make your own Star Wars character that appears in the movie, looks like we would both make Siths. Sith.
Seth.
Seth. Oh yeah, yeah. We would make Seth. Gunslinger and what did you say? You didn't. Yeah.
I know they're like middle class.
What would you like to see a Star Wars story about? Like, what kind of person?
I love detective mystery stuff. So maybe like
Space cop.
space cop. Yeah, totally space cop.
Some sort of space law enforcement. All right.
Yeah, I'd be super into that.
I would love to see a Star Wars movie that's from the perspective of the dark side, or from the perspective of the Empire. Like, as they watch the rebels just constantly elude them and destroy their stuff. And yeah, I think that would be a pretty interesting movie. And maybe they could explain that it's hard to see through the helmets, so that's why they're
missing.
Yeah, their aim is so bad.
Lols.
Lols.
So I
Cool.
got a space cop.
Space cop.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, let's grab another question.
Grab another question. That was another question for another time in another universe. So let's do this universe. Okay. Jackson.
Jack Skin.
Sorry, dog. Jackson Scott at Jackson Scott 448 says, based off your personalities, which superhero team do you think you would fit in with the best?
Ooh.
Based on your personalities.
Based off your personalities. Based off of our personalities. So are we deciding for one another, or are we deciding our own?
I think we're deciding our own, but we can do both. Let's do both. Let's make it juicy. Let's do both.
Ooh.
Melissa, I feel like I could see you be in the X-Men.
That's actually what
Specifically.
I would have picked for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that for sure.
I could see you being an X-Men. Why did you decide to pick that for yourself?
Oh, I just like the divergent nature of all the personalities and being like a school environment too, so you can really study all of it and really learn. I don't know.
I feel
Learn
like
how to hone your abilities, become an X-Man.
Yeah.
They do a lot of like almost like special ops, I feel like.
Yes, also that. Not
do.
super front facing.
Yeah.
We're not glitzy, glam, like
Yeah.
it's
Behind the
just
scenes.
Behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
legit.
Seems to be my MO most of the time.
Yeah.
I feel like you would be a Power Ranger.
I did not see that option. I didn't even know that was on the table.
I didn't know that either, but that's amazing.
I mean, I
Shit,
guess that's
yeah,
not a
it would be a Power
superhero
Ranger.
team, but like I could see you as a
But
Power
it kind
Ranger.
of is a superhero
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, it's a superhero team. All right, the Power Rangers. Okay, I was thinking something a little more badass.
I mean, I could also see you on the Fantastic Four.
Really?
Yeah, as a Human Torch for sure.
All right.
Hey,
All
he's
right.
he's dope. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
That's not
He
an
is.
insult, man.
No, yeah, he is the coolest one for sure.
And you like the family, like you like being a family.
That's
That's
true.
Being
The-
a tight knit group.
The family dynamic.
Yeah.
Except for the Thing, who's not related to anybody in the group.
The uncle.
True.
It's like, yeah, he's like that creepy uncle made of rocks.
Yeah, I hate those uncles made of rocks.
I'm just kidding if you're a fan of the Fantastic Four.
And I'm just kidding if you're made of rocks. I apologize.
Yeah. Don't discriminate against
No, you're
people
right.
who are made of rocks.
You're right. You're absolutely. They
Rock
rock.
people. Gollum.
Like The Rock, he's made of rocks.
Yeah.
He's made of boulders. There's absolutely no way to explain that human other than he's made of rocks.
Oh, yeah.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah, he's got rocks underneath his skin. And
He's a Geo dude. Jeremy, what about you, dude? Let's see. I think he would fit in Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
That's not superhero, but now we're just going all over the place.
okay. I would fit in Harry Potter.
Let's do superhero. I apologize. Okay.
I mean, I'm down for Harry Potter. Like, I'll do the hell out of that.
I didn't know that was an option.
Jeremy, I think, would be in the Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah. Because
In
it feels
what
like
capacity? Like, what do you mean?
I don't know. I feel like you could be a really solid Oracle type character,
Okay.
Ooh.
and I don't see that. It feels like with at least in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's a lot of like AI doing a lot of that stuff instead of people. And in the DC universe, you got Alfred, you got Oracle, you got all these people who are dropping the info from behind the scenes, and
That's
I feel
true.
like that's where you would excel. You're the guy who's just like, listen, Batman, take a turn here, Justice
Okay.
League people.
Like you're like Merlin in Kingsman, kind of like that character.
Yeah, totally.
You'd be
Merlin.
a perfect Merlin.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I was gonna say X-Men too, just
Yeah.
because you basically still can live a life of academia and train to be a superhero at the same time. Like
Yes,
it's all
for
in-house.
sure.
It's like going to a superhero university.
Yes.
And you can train in your field, whatever it is you want to do, based on your strengths and weaknesses.
That's how I feel like I would be. I feel like we would all be X-Men.
I feel like the X-Men is pretty inclusive in that anybody can be an X-Men.
Yeah.
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 I think that's the answer then. I feel
Yeah.
like we would be all X-Men.
Yeah, because like to me, Shield is like a task agency that you are recruited to
For the
based on
government.
your skills.
Yeah.
And
Still working
same
for
with
the man.
similar with Justice League kind of thing, where it's like
Yeah.
you know an exclusive club that you need to already have the skills to get into. With X-Men, like it's open to anyone.
You
Yeah,
can
man.
develop those skills.
And you can get degrees.
you
That
can learn
probably don't really mean much in the real world because it is a very exclusive school.
Man, my dad got degrees with the degrees.
What?
You can go to school and get some skills, and those skills will pay the bills.
And those skills will help you kills.
The skills will help you make kills, which will pay the bills.
Hey man, I got my degrees. I did my time.
Full of thrills.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Kanye.
Let's do another question because I feel like that was really short.
That was
And,
a
like,
short one.
Yeah.
We went through that one fast. Let's rapid fire them if they're
do
short ones. This has been a pretty fast
Okay,
episode.
this is from Anonymous. If you had to teach an alien about the human race using one film, TV show, and song, or song, and or
Whoa.
song,
and song.
and
That
song,
says
what
and
would
song.
it be?
So all three.
Ooh.
So one film, one TV show, one song. What would it be?
Guys,
Oh,
leave
man.
your leave your name or your Twitter handle or at least something.
Oh
All right,
man.
if you had
One film, one TV show, and one song.
one film, one TV, and you're trying to teach them about the human race,
Wow. Like positive things, I hope, right? Like,
TV
Wow.
show, I would pick Sense8 because that is the only TV show that I've ever seen that's as inclusive as that is, and it's still a very positive TV show. It's still very new.
but is that teaching them about the human race, or is that misleading them into thinking we have powers?
If we label it that it's fiction, then it'll be fine.
What if they don't speak English? What if it's like?
Then why are they watching this?
what if?
Because we're showing them something visual for them to learn about.
Why
us.
don't we just show them like a documentary?
Then yes,
like,
I still pick Sense8.
Sense8, more like Planet Earth or something. Like,
I think it's a good distinction to tell them that, you know, this is like it's still I would still show them Sense8 just because this shows what kind of stories us as a race would, you know, kind of like tell or be attracted to. You
Yeah.
know? Like this is the kind of storytelling that this species
Right.
think. Like it shows how we think, I guess.
I agree. Film. Oh, that's a tough one. Man.
a film? I feel like I'm looking at this in a completely different way than you guys because you guys are assuming that the alien can speak our language.
Yes. No, I'm not necessarily
I am
assuming
thinking
that.
this is like
I'm not assuming they can speak our language, but based on what you see and like how, like it's like observing animals in their natural habitat, like showing them a movie about like that shows how we would think. Because if aliens were to come here and assuming that they are sentient and they, you know, they have the technology to travel here.
Right.
Clearly, they understand a lot more than we do. So if another species were to land here, assuming that they can learn and know things more than we do, then they would be able to gather what they're seeing based on observing these movies or shows.
Right.
Without understanding our language.
That's making a pretty big assumption. That's making a pretty big assumption that they
Are you
can
thinking
just
War of the Worlds type aliens landing here and just destroying everything?
or Arrival, where we had to teach them our language and we had to learn their language simultaneously. Like,
yeah,
so-
but in Arrival, the aliens clearly know what they're doing, and they are sentient enough to learn our language.
yeah,
And us, like, they're sentient enough to even have a language. That's the point.
Yeah.
So if they have the power of language in their physiology, they would be able to deduce themselves what they see.
they will be able to deduce fiction without any prior information letting you know that it's fiction.
Fiction is a byproduct of sentient life, of consciousness. That's how I see it. So if you are conscious, then you, like, down the evolutionary line, you are, like, chances are you're going to evolve the distinction between nonfiction and fiction. Because that's just built into our consciousness.
Sounds like a pretty big assumption about an alien race who's gonna watch a TV show or movie. That's
would you-
all I'm saying.
What would you pick?
If it were showing a TV show? Probably something.
TV show, film, and song. Yeah, you got something?
I would probably do Planet Earth
Yeah.
because that showcases different aspects of our planet, different things in our world. But like, so that specifically follows like nature and our world at large, educating the aliens on our world, right? As far as a movie goes, gosh, something that could encapsulate humanity in one film.
Yeah, it's tough.
It really is.
Passion of the Christ.
No.
Ugh.
Encapsulate humanity in one film, in like the concept of humanity.
Star Trek.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't choose anything that's extraordinary. I would do something that focuses on the human aspect of things.
Gotcha.
Pursuit
So-
of happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness, possibly. Rudy is another one that's coming to my head. A story about humans doing
Right.
human things, and like Pursuit of Happiness and Rudy are great examples of like humans aspiring for greatness, and like it also I think will show happiness and unhappiness. Like I don't know, because the way I'm reading this question is that it's asking us.
So you're assuming that they can tell what these emotions are, or assume what, like, they can gather what these emotions are based on what they're seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is more likely than them understanding a language, you know what I mean? Like if they're a sentient race but they don't know our language, this is something that's going to teach them about our culture. Are we a threat? Are we not a threat? Here's a movie about a guy who really wants to play football. What is football? That one might be a little bit hard. But also Pursuit of Happiness,
It's hard.
yeah, this is a crazy question. A song? Africa by Toto. Boom.
Wow. I would do If I Can Dream by Elvis.
All right.
Do you think the aliens would be able to understand our body language, though, to interpret those emotions?
There's
Like-
no way of telling.
Yeah, this is totally just out.
It
Yeah.
depends
there
on
and
the
understanding. Yeah.
shit. It really depends on the species because ever since I watched Arrival, that kind of changed my perspective
Yeah.
Oh,
of
it's a
alien
beautiful movie.
invasions.
Right?
I'm
Well,
just like,
even going in line with Arrival, like the way, because any species that's able to travel to Earth, like have that technology, like they would need their own language or develop their own form of communication. So it's really like dependent on how they view their communication and language. Like everything in our world right now is based off of what is the numeric system called? Like not binary, not hexadecimal, but 10, concerning 10 digits. I can't remember exactly what it's called. What?
Nice. Trolling over there in the corner.
Anyway, and like our number system is based on base 10, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to get at. Everything we know in our, like the way that our world works is based on base 10 because we have 10 digits. That's how humans evolved. If we evolved as a human race with 2 digits, our system, everything that we do would be based on binary system. So, and I think there's also theories on how other animals think when they perceive like the number of things based on how many digits that they have or what they can see. So there's definitely a huge theory out there that the human race evolved 10 digits, and so all our everything that we do, including our language, is based off of base 10.
Wow,
So
I've never thought
based
about
on their
that.
physiology, depending on the alien race, they could communicate differently based on how many, like what their physiology is made of.
Yeah, like if they're not humanoid, because I think if they're a humanoid creature kind of like us, then I think they could interpret our body language, because there's a chance that theirs could be similar if they have 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. You know,
stand on 2 legs,
have 2 arms. Even if they had a different number of fingers, I think that they would still, like, if we're around the same shape, but like, I don't know. Again, like,
The
if
aliens
it's a
on arrival
yeah.
do not look like us.
They don't look like anything on this planet.
Exactly.
So that sort of thing where it's like, I can't tell what your body language is.
You're just a giant gas bubble. I don't know.
What are the messages that we send into space? Because don't we as a planet send messages out periodically, letting them
they have a
space that
set
we're here? What is in the set list? Does anyone know?
They
have a
We can
gold
Google
record.
it.
Yeah, they have a gold
the
record
gold
out there.
record.
Yeah, like what is it we actually project to space that aliens
Uh,
can potentially hear?
Hi in every single language on Earth, like a greeting from every single language on Earth. I'm sure they have some kind of
Isn't
song.
there recently, I think on Cassini or Juno or something, they have a chip that's printed like letters 1 micron tall of an entire like encyclopedia or dictionary or something, an essay,
Wow.
famous piece of writing.
Don't know. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Dropping knowledge.
Yeah. This conversation got a lot more deep than I think we thought it was going to be. Did everybody say their music, their song? Did you say yours?
I couldn't think of a song.
Yeah, song is tricky.
Song is tricky.
I just thought of something. I said Africa by Toto because it's a happy song for me. So I don't know.
Just
It's perfectly
Maybe
acceptable.
Maybe they'll like, I don't know. I'm trying to transfer things that are joyful
Yeah. No,
to the aliens,
and that's what
not
I'm trying
things
to
that are
think.
dire or stressful. I want them to know that we're peaceful.
maybe even
peaceful
like
race.
some pleasant classical music.
Yeah.
Something soft and
See,
welcoming.
so the reason why I picked Sense8 is because yes, it is very sci-fi, and there's a lot of violence in there,
Yeah.
and it is pretty out there. But at the very base, it is about humanity. It's about loving one another, and it's about acceptance, and it's about being open. And I think that is a really good message to send. But it could be. You know how they're going to interpret it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh wow, they all hate each other. We should hate them too.
I can get behind that thought process though, for sure.
But it could be confusing too.
Yeah. We got to get some actual scientists to weigh in on this.
We got
comments.
Yeah. Hey guys, what do you guys think? What songs, movies, and TV shows would you show an alien visitor from another planet, and why? Let us know why.
Let us know why. You have
I think
room for
we
one more?
might have room for one more.
Okay.
No.
We can make this a longer segment.
YOLO, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean, man. That's that Justin Bieber catchphrase.
Yeah. Lunar Visuals asks, if you could create a short film with the premise of time travel, what would it be?
Quick and easy question, I see.
That's
Just throw it back in.
it's a hard one, but that's a good question.
That is
So
a good
shout out
question.
to you for a
We'll
good
probably
question.
answer that eventually.
Ooh. This comes from Pat's Nation, at Rick Rollin 3. If Kevin Feige asked you how to integrate the X-Men to the MCU, how would you do it?
Oh shit! This question has you written all over it.
How would you do it, producer? I know exactly how I would do it.
You want to go for it while Melissa thinks?
Yeah, let me noodle.
There are I wouldn't recast anyone in the X-Men universe. There's very few things that I would change in the X-Men universe. I would just slowly introduce the characters into the movies. That's what I would do. I wouldn't recast. I wouldn't reboot because it's not necessary. There are some mistakes in the past, but you had mistakes with the Thor movies. You had mistakes with other movies. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think you need to repair anything great in the X-Men. And like you said, they're not very front-facing, so we can pass that they haven't been known about. And if they have, we can make some clever line and Tony Stark's like, oh, I knew about you guys. I just didn't want to do nothing, because that's what he would do.
Well, they're like in the process of repairing it right now, too, with like Gifted and Runaways.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're already starting to bridge the gap more into getting the X-Men kind of pulled into like a greater universe.
Dope.
And so I see it starting to theoretically get repaired here. Like,
Dope.
but how I would do it, I would actually definitely recast.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I would too.
I would just scrape the board and I would slowly introduce those characters, kind of like how you'd say, just pepper them in. You know, they're another sector that just hasn't been seen yet. We're learning about all these new patches anyway. We just learned about Wakanda. You know, that's a whole new ball game of technology and culture. So it's just reopening the board and having them slowly integrate into like phase 3 and 4.
Word.
And I think building off of a TV show too to get that started on the back end as well.
Word.
That's a tricky question because there's like the what I would want to do, and there's but I don't think what I would want to do would work. Mm-hmm. So my initial idea is to wipe the board clean, recast, and do a brand new X-Men movie featuring like a bunch of the X-Men already established and tell that story, and then make one of those and not connected to the MCU at all. But
So
the second one, we start easing it in.
Gotcha.
And then people start, that's when the rumor mill starts. Like, oh, hey, is the new X-Men a part of the MCU? Blah, blah, blah. And then when people are starting to like demand it, that's when we drop a post-credit scene at the end of one of the Avengers movie with, there's been a special ops team. Like, now that way I don't think is going to work, because I don't think fans are going to get behind a recast that is not directly related to the MCU. I think that fans are going to flip out about that. Mm-hmm. So, and it may be like a Amazing Spider-Man 2 situation where nobody really cares. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, people will go see it and spend the money on it, but people aren't really asking for this. So It's like not.
Yeah, it could really backfire.
Yeah. So I think the way that I would do it is not introduce them, but like have MCU characters start talking about them and start seeing glints of them. Like the mutant, the concept of the mutant has started to pop up here and there, but it's like not even referred to as mutant. Like they've discovered humans with mutations, and then we start discovering this and that. Like we see a couple cameos from characters, but we don't know that's them. And then at the post-credit scene of Infinity War 2 or whatever the next Avengers movie, Avengers 4, you see a new Professor Xavier come out of the shadows and is like, I have a special ops team who's been working in the shadows to stop a lot of crazy shit for years. And then we discover that the X-Men have existed and been have been a complete secret up until this moment, when they are not introduced in the Avengers, but I don't know, maybe they start working as the special ops, black ops version, like vertical.
Gotcha.
So like they're the Avengers that you don't see. They're the Avengers that you don't talk about. They exist in the same world, but this is why you don't see Wolverine and Iron Man fighting side by side, is because the X-Men are exclusively black ops. They exclusively work in the shadows.
Dope.
That makes sense.
Or make the villain in Avengers 4 a mutant, and and then have it all come out right there. Just like, there it is.
There it is, guys.
Mutants exist now, suddenly, in one movie.
Mr.
Would you guys
Sinister, the
even
bad
bother
guy.
with origin stories? Or I don't think I would do origin stories. I feel like it's maybe for a couple, because you have I like what they did with Spider-Man Homecoming, because we all know the origin story, but at the same time, not as many people know origin stories for X-Men, so there has to be some little bit of setup. I don't know if that's throughout a series, like backstories like trickled in versus starting with an origin story. I'm not sure exactly what I think would be the best answer.
My version is they already have their origin stories.
Already completed?
Yeah, like the X-Men movies exist and are a part of their universe now.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah. You're like, that already counts.
Because
We're
like
just gonna
I
merge it
love
together.
McAvoy, I love Fassbender, I love Ryan Reynolds, I love all these guys, and I think they all have paid their dues and like worked really hard on these characters, and I would really like to see them continue in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
See, I think if we go the Black Ops route, it can work,
I
but there
agree.
are contradictions in that X-Men universe that directly contradict that, like
The whole like,
apocalypse, and like
yeah.
that every time the world is being threatened by mutants. So, and the thing is like even if whether they wipe the slate clean or they use the same cast, Deadpool is your bridge. He's
Yes.
always going to
Absolutely.
be the bridge. He's the one who
Yeah.
can break the fourth wall.
Yep.
He can make a single joke about like how these universes came together.
Yeah.
What about you, Jared? What do you think about this?
I think recasting is an inevitability. I wouldn't want that, but it's based on a business decision standpoint, like it needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a way to keep the cast of like the First Class era, that would be cool.
Hell yeah.
I can't think of a way right now.
They're already phasing that cast out, though.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, are Fassbender and McAvoy even coming back for
Phoenix?
Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
So, because it looks like they're shifting over to the young, like it almost feels like their roles are being slimmed down in favor of like Jean Grey and all those guys now.
That's what I was assuming was happening.
The original X-Men, the actual.
I guess we shall see. But I know they're back in the movie. Fassbender and McAvoy, so.
Oh, I thought they were out. I'm a little behind on my X-Men news.
Well, all right then.
Right there.
I think.
Is that good enough?
Yeah,
Is that
man.
good enough, guys? We answered enough questions. I'm just
I'm
kidding. We can do another one if we want. I'm just kidding. We can wrap it up.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Thanks, guys, for watching the episode.
Thanks.
Or thanks for watching HawkTalk. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And thanks to everybody who's given us all the feedback on the new format. Excuse me. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at Danny Leshep.
I'm at Nola Chef.
I'm at Mimeo Moon.
And you can also like us on Facebook. You can check out our other YouTube channel, Ismahawk, which guess what? We got a bunch of new videos we'll start releasing in April at some time. Probably going to be the end of April. So, just keep that in mind. End of April. Give us as much time as possible. But the goal is to start releasing a video every single month. That's crazy.
Goals.
Don't hold us to it because that's very expensive, but we're trying our best and we're doing everything we can to set it up. So we're getting
So
there.
much setup.
If you guys want to ensure that happens, you can support us over on Patreon, and that will help make it easier to make all this stuff a reality. So check out our Patreon. We got a bunch of dope perks on there that you guys can take advantage of. There's an exclusive episode of Hawk Talk every single month. So if you want more Hawk Talk, and this one's a little bit more of an off-the-rails Hawk Talk, so if you guys like the classic format, that's pretty much what you're getting for the Patreon exclusives. It's one video. We just kind of jabber the entire time. Talk about whatever it is, and there's that. So check that out. We also have merch. You can support us that way if you want to. teespring.com/stores/Ismahawk. Check it out. And join our Discord. Jump on in. If you guys want us to answer your question, remember, leave a comment below with the hashtag HawkTopics. Say it to us on Twitter with the hashtag HawkTopics, or join our Discord and write it in the Hawk Topics channel. Boom. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.